So this week on Monday, Apple had their big worldwide developers conference and they announced a few different things like iOS 17 and like a new MacBook and a few different things. But one of the main things they announced was what they call Apple Vision Pro. And it's a augmented reality / virtual reality headset that they made. So the idea is that you put it on and you still see your actual room that you're sitting in, but you have apps and whatever you're doing in the headset is like floating in your room in front of you is what it looks like. So like you could be on the internet or watching a movie and it just looks like a big screen is like in front of you pretty much. And it's also a standalone device, so you don't actually have to own an iPhone for this. Like it doesn't connect to your phone or Mac or anything. It's like its own computer that you can buy separately. And it also doesn't have any controllers or anything. And the way that you control it is by using your voice, hands, and your eyes. And so the way that works is it will track your eyes inside the headset to see where you're looking. And so like if you want to select on, like if you want to click a certain button or something, you just look at the button you want to click and then you touch your fingers together. And so the way that works is there's cameras on the outside, like there's a lot of cameras on the outside, so they're looking for your hands, so they can see if you touch your fingers together to see if you click something. And then there's also cameras on the inside of the headset looking at your eyes, and there's infrared lights and infrared cameras that is just there to track your eyes and figure out where you're looking inside the headset. And if you want to type anything, you can just use your voice. You just look at a text box and start talking and it'll type it in for you. I believe you can also use a keyboard, and so instead of talking, you could just look at each key that you want to click and do this for every key. I think that's how it works. And you also have the option to use an actual keyboard or mouse and connect to those with Bluetooth. So as far as what you can actually do with the headset, it's pretty much like an iPhone, but all the apps are just in your room pretty much. So like you can still go on the internet, you can still message people, you can FaceTime, and you can watch TV and stuff like that. They also showed a thing where you can record videos and photos in 3D and then watch them in 3D later. And that sounds pretty cool, but in the event they showed this video of like this dad who was like recording a video of his daughters, but it felt really weird because it's like he was just wearing this big headset like with his daughters. Like why, I don't know, it just feels weird. Like for them when they're hanging out with their dad, he's wearing this headset the whole time. I don't know, that just felt kind of weird to me, and I'm like, why can't you just like spend the time with your daughters? I guess that's kind of what I was thinking, but it is cool. They also showed that you'll be able to FaceTime wearing the headset, so it's like the people you're FaceTiming with will just show up in like these big screens like in front of you in your room pretty much. And you might be wondering what the person in the headset looks like to the other people on the call. So when you get your headset, like when you're setting it up, you hold it in front of you and it will scan like a 3D model of your face. And so then when you're on a FaceTime call, it basically makes a 3D avatar that it shows them, and it'll use the cameras inside the headset to like show when you're blinking, and like it'll move the mouth when you're talking. It's pretty weird, but I guess you gotta show the other person something, I guess. And also the way you unlock the headset, like when you put it on to use it, it looks at your iris. So like it uses the cameras inside to look at your iris, and they call this optic ID. So you're just unlocking it with your eyes. There's also a digital crown on the top of the headset, and what that does is it controls your immersiveness pretty much. So like if it's all the way down, that's like normal, like you can see your room and you're just using apps like on a screen in front of you. But if you turn it up like all the way, then it looks like you're in an environment, they call it, I think. And so it looks like you're outside or something, and it's just, you don't see any of the real world, it's just you're completely immersed. And you can also adjust the dial in between, like nothing and fully immersed, so you can still see like part of your world, but also maybe like the front of you looks like you're outside or something. And to signify to other people in the room with you whether you're fully immersed or whether you can see them, they put this screen on the outside of the headset that faces outward, and they use that to show an image of your actual eyes. So it looks like it's almost see-through, but it's not. It's just a screen showing an image of your eyes, and it also blinks when you blink, so that's kind of weird. And then when you're fully immersed, then it just shows like a graphic, like it just kind of looks like lights kind of, so they can see that you can't see them. The headset is also powered by the M2 chip and also a new R1 chip for spatial computing. So I think pretty much what that's for is to be able to figure out like how big your room is and like how to position like objects inside your physical room, pretty much. The headset will have a 2-hour battery life, and it's powered by a little battery pack that is like separate. It's not in the headset. So the battery pack will be like in your pocket, and then there's a wire that comes up that will like attach to a connector on the headset. They also said that you can plug it in so that you could like be using it all day. You don't have to use it on battery power. And I think part of the reason that they have the battery pack separate instead of putting it in the headset like most other headsets is because it's like really heavy. Because the Vision Pro is made out of aluminum and the front of it is glass. So it's like pretty heavy as far as headsets go, I think. And I think that's why they made the battery pack separate and it like goes in your pocket instead of being connected. Apple said that the Vision Pro will come out early next year and it's going to cost $3,499. So that's like really expensive, and I don't think it's meant for like the average consumer. I think most of the people who are going to be buying this are either just going to be like rich people or just like people who are very interested in seeing like how this technology develops and just think it's cool. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm thinking about making a separate video where I talk about the software that they announced, like the new iPhone updates and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to make that, but I probably will sometime anyway. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!